Hi everyone, I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of SD Houston, and welcome to my channel where I talk about writing and my self-publishing journey and occasionally do some productivity sprints. I'm here today to do a live reaction to my 2022 goals and also talk about my 2023 goals. And I put into a poll into the chat about which goals should I do first for 2023, my writer goals, my author goals, or my YouTube goals. And it's just, I don't really have a preference one way or the other, whatever you guys want me to do if there's anyone here watching. So the objectives, of course, is to look at, okay, hold on. I was like supposed to hit a lot of buttons here, and I'm not good at hitting buttons and doing this at the same time. So I wanted to look at my 2022 goals and my 2023 goals. And when I was going to go pull up my 2022 goals video, I looked at the thumbnail and I was like, huh, that looks very familiar. I did not look back at my 2022 goals when I was making my thumbnail for the 2023. Yes, for the reaction. I'm wearing the same shirt and almost the same pose too. So I thought that was kind of funny. I just wanted to put that up there. Oh, and I was supposed to show this when I said I was the author of the Clash of Goddesses series, which I don't think I actually said, but yes, I'm the author of the Clash of Goddesses series. I am a bit nervous. For those of you who don't know, I'm a bit nervous doing this live. So I even wrote like a detailed outline so I will stay on track, and I'm already off track here. All right, so the first thing is to play the 2022 goals. I do want to say hello to everybody. Richard was the first in here. Hello and welcome. And then RC Scott showed up. Hello. And Martin, hello. And RC Scott is getting ready for a night on the town, trying out a new ramen place and watching my DJ friend spin at her annual Goth Krampus ball. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Not yet. Hello, Anita. How are you doing? Oh, hi, Rachel. How are you? Wow. Hello, Bethany. I really didn't know that many people would come up to a live. RC said, I'll get barbecued before the set. Okay. Play some Sisters of Wait. What was I saying? And Cool Gamer, hello. Down with the sprints. I am going to be decreasing my sprints next year. So what's the difference between your writer and author goals? That's a great question, because I was actually going to talk about that. So I see my writer goals as my just strictly writing. And my author goals is basically the marketing. So how do I get that writing to the world and get my words read, whether for free or paid or whatever? How do I get it? So writing under writer goals, and author, I think it was like authoring, getting my words out to the world. And how do I do that? Or what do I do with that? And then, hello, Morgan, how are you? Be careful wearing the same shirt. Chris Kenny does not let that go. Oh, well. I've kind of almost debated about just getting one shirt that, well, not just one, but several of the same shirt and just wearing that. I think Dale L. Roberts was talking about that. I don't remember, that was like a conversation we had at 20 bucks to 50K, or maybe it was a live he did, where he says, I just wear the same shirt because it's easy. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. It's already there. Which today I'm wearing a shirt by Jess Eva from her store where it says, it's a DNF for me. Not that my goals are a DNF. Shannon, are you the? Yes, I had no idea. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Bethany. I'm trying to get my heart to calm down. Red jumper. Lives always make me nervous. Yeah, yes, that's what it's making. Vote awesome. Yes, I love that. Imagine the audience wearing no clothes. Also, no, that doesn't work for me. When I imagine the audience, I get even more nervous. So I don't get to the part of imagining what they're even wearing or not wearing. So writer equals actual writing, authors, business goals. Yeah, basically. My writer goals, more writing. My author goals don't conform. Wow, that you guys, yes, I love all this. She had to get a shirt with a QR code to your newsletter. Yeah, that's it. Well, I wonder why you haven't done that yet, because you show your newsletter sign up all the time. That's interesting. Yeah, I knew you meant conform. Break all the rules. Yes, autocorrects. I approve this one shirt plan. LOL. It's like a YouTube work unit. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. So I was like, I don't have to think about it anymore. Just this is all I wear. So, cool. The blue shirt looks nice. Thank you. Yeah, I've been kind of on a t-shirt kick where I'm trying to buy shirts from local authors who have a shop, and Just Eva has a ton. It's a Bookend Lane is the name of the merch store, and she has a ton of stuff on there. And I hadn't yet come across anything that I really liked until I saw this one, and I really liked it. Okay, so does anyone know? Because I have played videos on my channel before when I'm on the screen, usually like the timer videos, but I always mute everything because I don't like music with my timer videos. But I want to play my video. Do I mute the YouTube tab? Because when I was playing around with it behind the scenes here earlier, I couldn't hear it if I mute the tab, but I don't know if I'm going to get an echo. Does anyone know the answer to that? Do I need to mute the tab, or what do I do so I don't get the echo, or does it not happen? Yeah. Or I'll just play it and we'll see what happens. So if I do a t-shirt, you will buy it? Well, if I like it. So I am a bit picky on the t-shirts that I buy. So, I mean, it took me a while to find one in Just Eva's store. Mute your mic and you should be fine. Mute my mic. But you won't hear me. Are you talking about like on the back end, like my picture? I mute it. Hi, Dale. I was actually just talking about you. We were talking about this one shirt like deal because I happen to, hold on, I'll put this up here. My thumbnail for my goals, I'm wearing the same shirt, and I didn't even know I was wearing the same shirt when I put these two thumbnails together. So we're talking about, it would just be easier if we wear one shirt. And I remember you talking about this at one point where you're talking about, it may look like you only have one shirt, but it's not, you have several, but it's kind of, your brand and all that. Okay, hit the right button, comments. If you want a video to keep playing with audio, don't mute the tab. If you don't want to listen to it at all, then mute the windows. Yeah. It shouldn't echo. You don't have to mute the YouTube video, at least in my experience, YouTube tab. Ignore me if you wanted to talk over your vid. Oh, I do want to talk over my vid. Okay, look, I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, I didn't even click on these, but yes, I was reading these. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. We'll see if there's an echo. I will try and mute different things and see what to keep out the echo. Man, we're all modded up. Ain't no trolls coming in here. No, we got it all locked down. Yes. Well, and I also kind of work off the idea that we all have something to share, and I would like people to share what it is, especially like right now. There's a lot of sales going on and services that people are offering. So yeah. And haha, yeah, me and my t-shirts. I mean, what if one of the mods is a troll? Yeah, I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm trying to have a little bit of faith in humanity here. No, and the people that I've met on Authortube. All right, let's try this video and see if it will actually. I see a lot of these type of videos. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Let me unmute the site. I see a lot of these type of videos and thought I should really figure out my goals for next year. Hello, writers in training. I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name SC Houston and author of Blood of the Lily. My goals for 2022 fall into 3 categories: writer, author, and YouTube. Writer goals. So first thing I want to say here, I'm not mad at the quality of this video. I think I did pretty good for the time period, but I was like playing around with lighting and I could not get the lighting right. I saw people doing these cool like colors, and so I bought a couple things to do like these different colors, and I could never figure it out. So I think the lighting is not that great. I believe StreamYard has an echo. Yeah, okay, that's what we just found out, right? So that's awesome. Fair point. Yes. Hope not. And okay, awesome. Thanks, Rachel. And sounds good on your guys' end. Awesome. We don't have a problem. Okay, let's continue. First goal is finishing the 3rd book of my trilogy, Tears of the Marigold. My second. Okay, so first goal, did it. I finished the second book. Did I say second book in my trilogy? I don't even know what I'm thinking. So I actually finished the whole trilogy, so it doesn't matter which one I said because I did finish all of it. Goal is to outline, write, and edit 2 more books in my next planned series. Okay, so this has not happened. And this is kind of what has prompted me to change up my goals for 2023. I did outline and write 1 book, and I'm on the 3rd draft of it, and I can't I've kind of mentioned this in my stream yesterday morning, is I have so much going on in my head. I just need a woosah moment and to have a period of time where I can just think about what I need to do and what I need to keep from those drafts, because I know the story, the right story is there. I have to find it, but outlining the next book, I've outlined it in my head and I've written 2 chapters in my head, but I have not started that second book yet, and definitely no editing done.
Which doesn't have a name yet. My third goal is I will start on
I do have a name. The series name is changing, but that's tentatively the Dragon Kings, but it is romantic fantasy. So I think it might be the Dragon King's Brides. I don't know. But the first book is called A Curse of Scales and Feathers.
Final 4th book by the end of the year, which will also be part of that same series. Author goals.
Well, I didn't even get to the second book, so didn't get to the third one.
My first goal is I want to publish 3 books and a box set. I already have 1 book coming out in a few days on January 3rd, Soul of a Rose. So that's number 1. The 3rd book in my trilogy will be published between March and May. At the 1-year anniversary of my debut novel, Blood of the Lily, I plan to have a box set of the trilogy released. And at the end of the year, I will publish the first book in my next series.
Okay, so there's a lot there to try to unpack. So yeah, did get the trilogy done, got the box set out. I didn't get the third book published when I wanted to. I said March and May, right? So maybe it was the end of May when it came out. And it was a little bit later than what I wanted. And that was because I had to take some time off to go help my parents out in their liquor store while my dad was going through his surgery and recovery from complications from cancer. And yeah, I did not publish another book by the end of the year. That did not happen.
I really want to publish at least 1 or 2 more books in the next series, but I already have some of life's curveballs coming.
I was talking about it right here.
My dad has to have surgery at the end of January
for
complications from cancer. My parents own a liquor store, so I'll be covering down at the store while he's in recovery 6 to 8 weeks. This means that my output will be significantly decreased during this time period. My second author goal is to increase my newsletter subscribers to at least 1,000. I'm currently at 191.
So I have over 6,500 now. I don't even look at it anymore. And once I hit 6,500, I kind of stopped looking at it. I do portion out or section out or however you call that on the newsletter list, where those who are not as active, I put into like, I archive them, but they're tagged. So I know, and I pull out like 500. Every time I send a newsletter, I pull out 500 of those, and I send the newsletter out to see if they still want to be, if they want to be active or not. And some of them do unsubscribe, which is fine, because if they're not going to be active in my newsletter, I'd rather them unsubscribe. And I clean out. If they don't open, like, the last few newsletters I've sent, then I do clean them out. And so I roughly sent out my newsletter. I try to hit around 2,000, sometimes closer to 2,500. But yeah, so I way surpassed this goal. I'm happy about that.
It's doable. My third author goal is to continue to promote my books by having more author interviews and trying out various marketing strategies.
So yes, and yes, I did have author interviews. I actually had one on Dale's channel, which you can see. I didn't remember saying this, so I would have grabbed that link and put it in the chat. Dale, if you're still around, if you want to drop a link to your podcast channel so that people can go check it out. He does do a lot of interviews with authors, and many of them are here on Authortube. So they're a really great series. He just did one with Tanya from Tanya's Writing Realm, and I really enjoyed that one. And marketing, I've tried all kinds of different marketing this year, so I'm pretty happy about that.
My author goal is to sell 150 total copies of all my books. YouTube goal.
Okay. I did remember that I had put a number. I didn't know if it was a sales number or a number on how many books I would sell. 150 books. Okay, I surpassed that. I hit 691 books. So even though I didn't hit a lot of my writer goals, I did hit a lot of my author goals, which was, the marketing, growing my newsletter, selling books. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I did have tons and tons of free downloads with all the promotions I did. I meant to grab that number, but it's probably close to 5,000 downloads. That would be my guess, because I was just under 4,000 in January. And then, it was like another 2,500 or 3,000 with my launch in the end of May, I think it was, with my third book. And I've done lots of other free promos. Like I did a free promo this month and had 45 downloads. So yeah, so I've got a good figure for free downloads, and then 691 books sold altogether. So I'm happy about that one.
My first goal is to add 3 or 4 new series to my channel. I have one, self-publishing tips and tricks, and that starts in January, and my goal is to release 2 episodes every month. I have 2 other planned series, The Psychology of Words which will have 5 or 6 episodes, and a series on character development that will be roughly 30 episodes.
Okay, so that first series that I went to do, the podcast, that happened. We did it. We got every episode out on the 1st and the 15th of every month of this year. And the other 2 series kind of fell to the backside. So the first one, I have the entire thing filmed, and I had started releasing some episodes in that series. It wasn't called The Psychology of Words. Those were like leading up to The Psychology of Words, but I have all those episodes filmed. I just don't have time to edit them. And then the second one, I don't have that done. I don't have that done. I don't even have any outlines or anything for it. I've got notes on what I want to do. So I don't know. That may happen one day.
I also have big plans for July where I've already reached out to a few people. I need to hammer out my goal.
Okay. So big plans in July and talked to a few people already. I did this in January. I think the only 2 people I had probably reached out to at this point was Dale and my partner, Jenna O'Malley, to come on. And that was for the AWC, which that happened. So I was happy about that.
And my vision before sending out hard pitches on that idea, but it looks promising so far. My second goal is to hit 500 subscribers sometime in the year.
And I did. I hit the 500 subscribers a month ago, I think. Whenever I started doing my shorts, and I think that was a month and a half ago, because I was like at 490 and I was going up to 500 and back to 490, and I started doing my shorts and it jumped. And I think I'm at 631 now. So yeah, met that goal.
My third goal is to continue making more connections in the Authortube community and help toward building a positive, supporting environment for all. I started a list of people I
spelled environment wrong.
Met and had some interaction with, and it's well over 50. So I'll shoot for making 300 new connections in the new year.
I'm not really sure why I put a number on this and what I thought I was going to do to try to track this because that didn't happen, but I'm sure I made a ton of connections, especially with the Authortube writing conference. I got to meet a lot of the different pockets of Authortube that we don't necessarily get to know without, an extra, like that 7 touches of knowing somebody or 7 points of, Kevin Bacon or whatever that's called. So yeah, so I got to meet a lot of new people. It was really great. So I'm glad about that. But I did not write down everybody's name. So I don't know why I thought I would track that one.
In 1 year's time, let's see what I've accomplished. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and happy writing. I see a lot of these of videos.
Don't want to watch it again. All right. So those were my goals. And yay, Dale did drop the link there. So if you guys want to go, is that the actual that's to the playlists, right? Is that what am I seeing, or is that the actual video? But yeah, you can go check that out. And let's see. I don't know where I left off. Yay. Well, thank you everybody for all the comments, because this was a lot. I don't know how I'm gonna get through everything, so that's okay. No echo, t-shirts. Oh yeah, okay, we did that one already. You didn't say your goal for this year was fabulous. Oh, thanks, Martin. Bring back the candles. Oh, yes. Well, I do have one candle. This is a candle right there. It just doesn't look like a candle. And actually, my light over there, which I usually have on, I forgot to turn on today because I was super nervous about coming on. That is a candle on top. It melts from or it's not a candle. It's like the Scentsy stuff, but it gives nice aroma. Oh man, lighting is the bane of every video. Yeah, but once you nail it, you're set. I think it's pretty good where I'm at now. It's not all like creative with different colors I've seen some people do with the lighting being great, but I wish I could outline faster. Me too. A dragon in bed. No. Yay. A curse of scales and feathers. Yep. You got it. Yeah, such a better title than Price War. That is a dig on Richard Holiday's next novel. I'm sure glad Shanon has been publishing, but I watched the liquor store vlogs. I did think about it, but honestly, I was so busy. And I remember at one point my dad saying to me, hey, I really thank you for taking over the store, and I'm sorry you had put your business on hold. I'm like, no, I didn't put it on hold. I work, all day here, and I go home and I go back to work trying to continue my business. So 6,500, yes, it's really big. No. Aw, yeah. Some people have asked me to do a newsletter video. And I did one from a group, and it was like an hour long. So that might be a live I do next year. I don't know. Story origin and now, yes, story origin helps. I'm sure you want to chat noob sci-fi author, right? Dale is actually now the author of horror. So I don't know if RC Scott is still on here. RC Scott just published his horror stuff. Wow, you did well on your author goals. Yes, I did, but I didn't do well on my writer goals, which yeah. Get with me in 2023. I'm booked till summer 23. A job for a spreadsheet. You accomplished so much. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you so much. And if you guys didn't know, Morgan is my critique partner, and she was she was instrumental to my third book being as good as it turned out, and the friendly support, right? Yes, sounds like you accomplished a lot. 1 hour long newsletter video, rubs hands with glee. Yeah, it was very, very long, very detailed of all the different things. And I separate things into levels. Like, here's what you could do if you have no subscribers, you don't have a reader magnet. Level 1. Here's what you do if you have no subscribers, but you have a reader magnet. So I like broke it all down, like all the different things you could do to go from 0 to higher in a number. Alrighty, so let's talk about, if I can hit the right banners here, my 2023 goals. So, all right, I need to look at the poll, right? Mute site. Can I see? So the poll, can't see it. Okay, so writer goals first, then author, then YouTube. Well, it's in the same order that my 2022 video was in. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll, and we will go in that order. So wait, let me look, make sure I'm not missing anything before I go on. Oh, yes. Okay, so I did want to share something else. Stop screen, present. If you guys did not see this, and actually Joanna Penn, I think it was Joanna Penn, talked about this week on her podcast, and I shared this with, I think Martin was the only person I shared it with. But the making of a 6-figure author, how authors evolve with their income. And this is Written Word Media, who is Free Booksy and Bargain Booksy. They also do the Facebook ads. They're the ones I used the Facebook ads last month. And they also do Amazon ads that they'll help you with. They did a poll, and I think I participated in the poll. Here's the link for that if you want to read the whole thing. It was with only 1,800 authors, self-published authors, indie authors, but it was pretty helpful in seeing at what level did everybody do things. So you had different stages here, 0 to $449, all the way up to $10,000 a month. And it broke it all down, each income, and like, what was the average? So 0 to $249 a month, the average was 5 published books with 10 hours weekly writing. I was already thinking I need to spend more time on my writer goals versus my YouTube goals. And I was going off this like 60-40% rule that I told myself I was going to do, and maybe move to 80 to 20%. And I broke down all my hours in January. I can't really go further ahead on that because my life constantly in flux with having a kiddo and then my own back issues that I have. So I just figured out, and I was like, oh, 80 or 60-40%, I can do the 60%. It was an average of 21 hours a week. So I was like, okay, I don't have 5 books, but if I do an average of 20 hours a week or 21 hours, then maybe I can get to that 5 books. Anyways, it's a good article to read. So, I didn't share it. Or did I? I did not share it. I thought I did. Let's go back to the top. The making of 6-figure author, how authors evolve. And so you can see author sample. Oh, it's 1,300. I thought it was 1,800. And all the different stages. So, and it's like really small. At least on my screen, that's small. Anyways, it's a good author article to read for indie authors. Okay. So that was what went into my thinking for my writer goals. So let's look at writer goals. And I do have a question that's just down there. You can answer if you want to. I don't know if I'll get to everybody's answer because there are quite a few chats going on. And but what do you hope, or not what you hope, how many hours a week do you hope to write in 2023, and or whatever other measurement, whether it's in like number of sprints, because Mama Maggie did 150 sprints was how she made her measure for NaNoWriMo. And I thought that was interesting. Or maybe it is that your goal is just to get 2 books. Doesn't matter on the word count as long as, the books are done. So yeah, share with me what you have. All right. Number 1 for me, write an average of 20 hours a week. So based off of what I was just saying, you probably knew that was coming. And I am going to, just continue to plan ahead month by month as I know what's happening in the next month. And I will track the words. And this is going to be my number one priority. Going forward, it's number one. So if I don't get a YouTube video out, it doesn't get out. If I have not hit that 20 hours, I am going to be doing that, or at least an average, because like the first week in January, there's a holiday. My son is visiting. I'm going back with him to Virginia. And so there's gonna be a few days I'm gone. I'm writing 11 hours that week is all I've got planned. So of course I'm making it up on some of the other weeks. All right, number 2, draft at least 3 books. So this is for my next series, which is the Dragon Kings, or whatever I end up coming with the series title on that. And I have drafted the first book 3 times. There are parts of it that I like, but I do need to go back to the drawing board and figure out exactly what I want to do. And I kind of been drafting the other 2 books in my head. I do a lot of stuff in my head before I write it down. And so like I said, I've got 2 chapters written of my second book, and I've got the prologue written in my head of the third book. So I think this is doable. And I broke this down. I have 4 months to move through the writing process. And I did say draft, but I am thinking about the full writing process, and I'm including outlining it, drafting, sending out requests for alpha and beta readers. And I'm going to put together a typo buster team for, to like, that'll be like the last process. So people who want to just read my manuscript to find whatever typos they can find. I am going to go through other processes. I have Pro Writing Aid. I've also talked with my friend from college, my girlfriend from college. We both graduated with our degree in creative writing, and she's published a lot of books, 17, 19 books or something. So anyways, we're going to exchange manuscripts and edit each other's works. And I've already edited the book that she just had come out. And she's also starting romantic fantasy next year. So that's going to be cool that we're going to be exchanging and editing each other's works, and we're both writing the same stuff. So I've already set the date up for her for that first book. So I have to get my book done by that time. So we'll see how I go there. And there was some here. I don't want to miss everything you guys saying. Morgan Lee is also the editor of Ben Peck's amazing Into the Void books. Yes. And she was a copy editor, I think. Morgan, you can correct me, which is, it's more than just editing the proofreading and stuff like that. And yeah, she's really good at that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to say that. There's that article. And yeah, Martin read it. It was a very fascinating report. You shared the link in chat. Okay, awesome. So answering the question, my goal is 10 minutes a day. So awesome. That's like just getting, sitting down. Do you think of that as like an average of 10 minutes a day? Like if one day you only get 5 minutes, then you make up some of the time. That's how I'm doing mine, just because I know that even with planning ahead a whole month, I know there's a day in there that I am going to get an injection in my back. And I don't know what day it is yet. I see actually the doctor this coming week, and I'll figure out what day that's going to be. So I know like that day, there's no writing that's going to happen, because I'm usually loopy when I come home, and I usually sleep for a little while. So yeah. So mine goes by averages. More next year. I've had to divert my energy this quarter to a lot of in real life stuff. So looking forward to my off time being mine to write in. Yes. When I'm on a draft, I'm aiming for 60 to 80K per month and to draft 4 books. Nice. All right. And my number 3, complete 3 reader magnets, because even though I grew my newsletter list, I do not have a reader magnet. My reader magnet right now that I use on Story Origin is just the first 3 chapters of my book, which is like one of the worst reader magnets that you can have. Now, I don't know if it's too late. I was invited to write a story in an anthology that Jeremy Fee is doing. I think it's due in January. So I think I have time. I was going to work on it on the Christmas break, because this is, I'm taking a break after today. So I have a story that's going to hopefully go into the anthology. And then I have a contact that I made through Story Origin. When she saw my subscriber count growing on Story Origin, you can see the emails to other authors. And she reached out to me. She was like, how are you growing your email list so fast? And so then we started a conversation, and we've been just talking ever since. And she invited me to also be part of an anthology, which she's thinking is going to come out middle of next year. So those could be reader magnets, as well as getting those short stories put out into anthologies, and then one more. And so like writing 3 books, I basically have 4 months apiece to write them all. Of course, 2 of them are going to have deadlines. One has like a firm deadline, and the other one is just middle of the year. So yeah, kind of the same thing that I'm going to do there. But these will be either short story length or perhaps novella length. I know the anthology, I know with the the girl I met from Story Origin, that is short story. She wants short stories, not novellas. At least that's what I understood. I have to look back at what Jeremy Fee is saying. Jeremy Fee, by the way, is here on YouTube. I think he's more on the BookTube side. He is also an author. I have one of his books up there, and I have not read it yet because I think he leans more toward the horror side as well. But I do want to get to it eventually. All right. So author goals are next. If I can figure out the right buttons to push. All right, so a new question. Author goals, what is your top authoring goal for next year? And this doesn't have to be that you're publishing something, but if you're giving your words to somebody, so maybe you're just sharing a short story or your novel or some poems with somebody, maybe that could be your goal for next year. All right. So number 1 for me is to go wide with my first series. And I keep forgetting I have like pictures and layovers here that I made. There we go wide. So Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Ingram Spark. Oh, I cut off the I. And Kobo. Those are the ones I'm aiming for. I started on Draft to Digital already. I've started on Barnes & Noble. I've started on Ingram Spark. So those 3 I've already started on. I've got most of the year to do it. I did give myself a firm deadline of October 31st because I want to go wide by the anniversary, the 2nd year anniversary of my books. So that's November. So yeah, so I'm aiming for October 31st. Number 2, spend an average of 5 hours weekly on marketing. So if you go back to that article that I put the link in there, it also showed, how many hours each group was spending on marketing. And I don't think anybody was doing less than 10 hours. And it increased to like 20 hours, maybe. I can't remember. You've got the link to the report so you can see it. But I think the minimum was 10 hours, or that was the average of what the minimum was. But I am going to start off with doing only 5 hours because I want to make sure that I can hit my average of 20 hours for writing. So that's why I put 5 hours for now. I think it's doable. I think I can get there. If I can go beyond it, I will. But I'm not going to do more than that. And this includes things like building my newsletter, scrubbing it. I want to get my newsletters moved to another platform because I am in the paid tier now for MailChimp, and it's expensive compared to other platforms. MailerLite, I've started on MailerLite, but I was trying to set up my automations and I haven't got that done yet. And then, so I need to spend time doing that. All right. And what else did I say? Oh, learn Facebook ads. I want to learn Facebook ads and create more Amazon ads. So that is for under the 5 hours weekly for my, I'm doing everything like hour increments. So, and 2 is publish 1 to 2 books. Now I know I said I was going to write 3, and I honestly feel this is just going to be 1 book. And the reason for that is a secret reason. And I'm not making it secret because I don't want to share it with you guys, because I'm all about sharing stuff with you guys, especially on my channel. I'm pretty transparent. The reason why I'm not sharing it is because I have like this thing where if I say something that I'm going to do that's big, especially something I'm like really excited about, and I tell a bunch of people about it, it doesn't happen. At least that's so it's kind of a superstition kind of like thing. So yes. So if it works out well with publishing that 1 book, then it's most likely I will have to push off book 2 until the beginning of next year. If it doesn't go out well, then I'm definitely going to be doing 2 books this year. So publishing. So yeah. So it's kind of weird to say that, yes, 1 book is going to be great. 2 books is going to be a sad occasion. But yes, that's the idea, because I'm really, really hoping that my plan for publishing and marketing that first book is going to be a hit. Anyways, that's my hope. All right. So those are the end of my author goals. Next will be my YouTube goals, but let's go to the comments. I should have marked it. I don't. Okay. So I think we left off with Martin saying, when I'm on a draft, I'm aiming for 60 to 80K per month and to draft 4 books. Morgan says, I do line editing and light proofreading. So, okay. So the line editing, that's like tightening up sentences or offering better word choices, if I am thinking of that correctly, which she does for my work. I also want to outline faster and just be more confident as I have many ideas for books to write. Me too. I have way more ideas than I have time to do it. I've almost considered, since I have so many ideas, I've almost considered like jotting down all the notes I can think of, which I've already started doing that with several ideas, and then hire someone to ghostwrite the book, because otherwise I don't know that story will ever make it into the world. Like certain stories will never probably make it out into the world. So I was like, that's where a ghostwriter could be like really, really helpful, because it's my idea, but I don't have time to do it. I don't know. You have to have money to hire a ghostwriter. So I'd like to outline faster, but I settle for being able to outline one whilst drafting or editing another project. Same, Martin, I'm going to try to have at least slack time between things. Yeah, I know. And I've already started on Anger and Spark, and I have already had issues. So I uploaded everything, same dimensions of the book as what I have on Amazon, and they came back and said my cover was not right. So I think, and I was mentioning it to a group that I meet with. It's run by MK Williams once a month. And she had said that, no, Ingram has their own template. You have to use their template. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's probably what I need to do. But I haven't been able to get back in there since I first started. Yeah. And then with Draft to Digital coming up with all the things that they're doing and, merging with Smashwords, they're able to cover a lot of the market because it is an aggregator site. So they're able to cover a lot of the market that overlaps, I think, with Ingram, if I'm hearing it correctly. I don't know for sure because I haven't done my research on it yet. If you want paperbacks in brick and mortar stores, they're the only game in town. Okay. Facebook ad manager is so horrible. It will take all 5 hours. Yeah, I kind of had that feeling. But Martin has given me some great resources to go check out when I get to that point. Although I think, Martin, you sent them to me in DMs and Instagram, and it was like way far back. And I don't know if I'll be able to scroll that far back, but I might just get back with you again when I get ready to do Facebook ads. I know what you mean about not saying things in case it doesn't happen. I told everyone I draft 4 books next year. Well, why did you let me do that? If you're after ghostwriters, I know a very reasonable Malcolm. Oh, okay. I will keep that in mind. Amazon and Ingram are not the same dimensions. Do not use the same template. Yeah, I just learned that. Alrighty, so let's go to YouTube goals. Now, this is what's going to change probably the biggest for me, where I'm taking away from my YouTube goals and giving more time to my writing goals, because I did a lot of great things this year. I was really, really happy with the things that I accomplished. The greatest thing that I really loved this year was getting my trilogy done, getting the box set out, and getting the Authortube writing conference off the ground and started, and having the great community come about around this event and share our knowledge with each other. So those are some really great things that we did this year. But I was not happy with not meeting my writing goals. I knew that before I saw the video, that I was not meeting my writing goals, because I remembered thinking I was going to have a couple more books planned to come out by the end of this year, which did not happen. And I was really bummed by this, because I kept thinking, none of this would be here. I wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for my writing. And writing to me is an integral part of me, and not writing makes me sad. So that's why I've had to change a lot of stuff. Yeah, so YouTube goals. Where are my questions? Okay, here is the YouTube goals question. Do you have any YouTube goals, whether content creation or consumption? And I was thinking about the consumption part, because we just put out our final episode of the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast, where it was a compilation of all of our authors from the year and the best publishing and marketing tips and tricks that we learned. And I remember that Sako Toomey, her best, was it marketing tip? I think it was marketing tip, was YouTube University. Basically, you can find so many things on YouTube, things that you can learn about. And yeah, so that's going to be kind of part of it, right? So I'm going to be using YouTube videos to learn about Facebook ads, because as Martin has shared some of those links with me already. So yeah, so I don't think I put the consumption for myself down. I was looking more from the creator side. But let's go to that. So number 1, produce and host a 2023 AWC. Well, this is already on the way. It's already going. We already have some signups. And we had a confirmation of our special guest speaker. No, keynote speaker. He is a special guest speaker too, though. Of our keynote speaker, it was last Saturday. We got the firm confirmation I asked for, some information to get going on it. And one of the things I wanted to do before I said anything about it was to get the picture of the keynote speaker, which I just got last night. So I'm going to release it. Are you guys ready for this? You guys will know this first. And then after this live is over, I'm going to go ahead and post on Instagram and on my community board. And I think Margaret's planning on posting on her community board as well. But here is our keynote speaker for the AWC 2023. He's also a special guest speaker. He's also going to be on the first page critique panel. If you guys did not know, Mark Leslie Lefebvre, I looked up how to say his name. He is part of the Draft to Digital company, right? So he's there are a lot of other great guys, Kevin Tomlinson and Mark Coker. They're all under Draft to Digital. And I think Mark might have came over from Smashwords. I'm trying to remember. But yes, so he is our keynote speaker and special guest speaker and going to be part of a lot of panels and stuff that's going on throughout the AWC. So I'm very excited about that we finally had a picture so we could put it out there and say, hey, this is who we have. Now I've got to work on the AWC website, get those pictures up there. All right. So that was number 1. Number 2, spend less time on video creation. Now, when I made this goal, I was like, how the heck am I going to measure this? I did start for a few months. I was writing down every day how much time I was spending writing, how much time I was spending on YouTube stuff, how much time I was spending on my marketing. And I did that for a couple months. And that's when I saw that my YouTube stuff was taking over everything. And that's when I thought, okay, I've got to change my goals. I've got to put more time toward writing. So spend less time on video creation. It doesn't really lend itself to figuring out how to measure that unless I go back to doing hours, which I know I'm not going to be able to keep up for the whole year. I'm going to try to do that for the whole year with my writing because I feel that that's the most important. That's my number 1 priority, which, by the way, I forgot. My number 2 priority is the AWC. So if everything has to stop and I'll only do one thing, it's writing. And if I can only do 2 things, it'll be writing in the AWC. So just forgot to say that. But spend less time on producing videos. So what I thought was, instead of really coming up with how to measure this, I want to change how I'm doing some things. You guys, if you've seen the self-publishing tips and tricks video, the last podcast episode, you know that we are changing how we're doing our next season. We're not doing a full year. We're only doing a quarter. We're going to take a quarter off. We're going to do another quarter of the podcast and take another quarter off. And this was because all of us, me and the host, Ben Pick from Running to Write and Morgan Lee, we were all, really getting into our writing this year, but we were getting overwhelmed with everything outside of the writing part or working or whatever it is. We got very busy and we were all getting into writing and trying to publish our books more. And Morgan actually came up with this idea of 1 quarter on, 1 quarter off, 1 quarter on. Because I was like, I want to do something different, but I don't know what to do. And she was like, hey, what about this? So it was a really great idea. And I'm looking forward to that. So that's one place I'm saving time because I would spend 8 hours. It was an average. I was timing myself 8 hours editing each of those episodes. So that's a full day gone. So some of the things I'm going to do with different formats. This is the first time I'm doing this different format. I'm doing live streaming. I could have made this a video just like my 2022 goals, which was 2.5 minutes, but probably took me all day to edit. So I do spend a lot of time editing. If you've seen my videos, I do a lot of B-roll. I do different cuts and stuff like that with my film. I've been trying to up my game in editing my videos and add some funny parts if I can, or something that's at least lighthearted. And as much as I've loved doing that, I really don't have the time if I want to hit my mark with writing. So one thing I've thought of, live streaming. I can live stream what I want to talk about. I have monthly income reports that I do. I have 1 or 2 things I'm thinking of doing. Either I'm going to go down to quarterly reports, income reports. So instead of doing by month, I would just do by quarter. So that will effectively cut down most of my videos. Or I can also live stream them monthly. And I might probably put out a poll on my channel to see what people would prefer, the monthly live stream on the income report or a video that is the whole quarter. So that's something to think about. So Margaret's actually my inspiration of doing everything as a live stream, because she said in the beginning of her YouTube career, she was like editing her videos and it was just too much time. So she does everything live streaming, everything. And then some of the other ones that I've looked at for inspiration for my future videos that I actually publish that are not live, I am going to reduce everything I'm doing. It's going to be a shorter format. It's going to be more to the point. It's going to be not all the B-roll and the film editing and everything I'm doing. I'm still going to do some light editing, but the idea is that I need to spend less time doing YouTube, and I have to try that. And so some of my inspirations for that are Heidi Thorne and MK Williams. Both of them are really good at getting out valuable information quickly, and they don't do all the bells and whistles that I do, and they're building their audience just fine. So of course, I have a fear that I've been building my audience on a certain way that I'm doing my videos, and if I change them, that some of the audience may drop off. But it is what it is. So I am seeing a ton of people leaving comments. So let's hop over there before I do the last comment. I keep forgetting to mark these. Okay, outline faster, Ingram Spark, Facebook. Okay, so hello, graphic design with Lytton or Lighton. I'm not sure how you say that. Welcome. And hi, Dr. Nick. My YouTube goal is to watch more Authortube because I've watched almost no one this year. Yes. Who is it? Martin? Oh, this must have been before I was showing who our keynote speaker was. Don't show my picture. Mark, hoorah. Yes, I was so happy. I was talking to, I think he's a manager. I have his card here. Okay, wait, my cat took off with one of my cards, and I think, nope, here it is. Doesn't have what his title is. Yeah, it doesn't have his title. Or wait, there it is. Core Communications. So I was talking to the gentleman who's in charge of Core Communications. I met him at the 20 books to 50K conference and pitched the AWC. I had pitched the AWC to Kevin Tomlinson, who works under Drafted Digital, and didn't get a response. So I just thought, well, maybe I'll just put a face to the name. So I went there. I talked to Kevin first. He was like, hey, this is the guy who's in charge of everything. Talk to him. And that's how I met this gentleman. And so, yeah, I was happy when he first said, we really want to do this, but we had to figure out what our schedule is and who can do it. And then he came back last Saturday and said that it was going to be Mark. So yeah, I was happy. It kind of looks like Mark. Yeah. He is on the creative. He wrote a book, which, I want to read. It's on our list for our self-publishing tips and tricks episodes, or our off-season episodes, where we're just going to read books about writing, marketing, or publishing books. And we are going to just informally talk about those books and how, it's going to help us or affect us in our author journey, or what can inspire us in our author journey. And yes, so he wrote a book with Jonah Penn called The Relaxed Author. And it kind of works, this book about, not going with this culture that you have to produce. And I haven't read the whole book. So I don't know everything that's in it. I've just heard them talk about it mostly. And so I'm like, I want to be a relaxed author. So I want to really read that book. So yeah, that's on our list to read. But yeah, and he's been on there quite a few times. More like Chris Kenny. My YouTube goals are to watch more Authortube focused on the genre I'm writing in indie marketing. I wish there were more videos on romantic fantasy. Even when I started researching romantic fantasy at the beginning of the year, which is the series I'm writing next, there wasn't even any articles online. People weren't writing about it, but it has become very popular this year. And now there's a few articles online. So I probably should do a search on YouTube. At first I'm like, yay, who's that? LOL, but that's exciting to have him on. Mark's been part of Drafted Digital for several years. Okay, so I don't remember which one was with Smashwords and came over. Maybe that was Mark Coker. Have you tried doing live YouTube's videos to save on Eddie? Oh. Talk to Adrian about spending less time on YouTube videos. He's going to try a few things going forward. Yeah, I heard him talking about that, and I meant to reach out to him, and I forgot. I might adopt this live video method next year. I want to make content, but there's a lot of steps I don't have time and energy to do. Exactly. You are so natural doing these lives. I tried one and just hid under my desk. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for the opinion of that I'm natural to these lives. I trip over my words a lot, and especially, I was nervous, and now I'm like really, really hot because I'm still nervous doing this. But is Shannon enjoying TikTok? I don't know. So I do have it on. So that I made my goals of what I was going to do, and I have like several pages written to my goals, and even broke down my goals into the steps I have to do to meet those goals. Hold on, I have. I don't know what I do with it. This is what happens when you have multiple. Oh, there it is. Things I want to do in 2023, and TikTok is on there. It's actually right there. Figure out TikTok. So yeah, things I want to do in 2023, but these are not things I necessarily have to do or that I'm going to push myself on. They're just something to aspire to that I like to do. So no. Hi, Nia. How are you doing? I pledge to troll more often. Hello, Margaret. And we're back. I relate to the increase in temperature when filming live. Yes. CC, we found one. Yeah. Okay, so we are on the last goal. If I can get back to my banners. So if I'm spending less time on YouTube, and I don't know if I will be doing the live streams or not, I'm going to look a lot at my analytics and see what's happening when I'm doing the live streams versus doing videos, and see if that works. But I'm like, okay, so here's how big it is to get from beginning to, being monetized. And I'm like right here. So I'm like, I'm really close. I'm not really, really close. I'm just close. So I'm on this side of 600 subscribers, like 630 or 31. And I have 3.3 watch time hours, 1,000 watch time hours. So, and I'm a bit concerned that if I cut back on my YouTube creation, my YouTube video creation, that my watch hours are going to severely drop. But I really enjoyed doing the daily writing sprints in November. And of course, it wasn't quite daily because I went to the conference and then got sick with COVID. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And that might help to, bring up my watch time if I start losing some from the decreased amount of YouTube videos. So I made that an actual goal. So I want to do daily streams in nano months. So that's April and July and December. Yeah, so I'll have to see. Let's see if I can't do all three, at least two of them, at least November, because we'll be on our off season for the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast, and we're off season for the April one. But I don't know. I think July falls into our next season that we're in. So we'll have to see. So there are all of the goals that I have for next year. I did have a question that I just wanted to ask you guys. If I was to add a live stream, I don't know, I might do just one or monthly or whatever it works, where it's just a Q&A, would you guys be interested in that? Because I've had a few people come to me like, hey, I want to know more about what you're doing with shorts, or hey, what are you doing with marketing, or like the newsletter, that probably will be a live because that would be a really, really long video for me to edit. The building the newsletter one. But if it was just dedicated to Q&A about my writing, my self-publishing, whatever, would that be something that you guys would be interested in? It's not something that I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm not against it either. I just didn't know if it would be something useful for like all the questions I have been getting. So, or people would just prefer to, continue the one-on-one communication. And yep. Yeah. Me too. And Richard, of course, is against TikTok. I've for that a few things. There's a December nano. Did I say December? I meant November. Maybe I want to make a December nano. Actually, November nano, I was always like, why November? Because you have Thanksgiving in there. Q&A chat stream. Yeah, that's the question. Estelle just asked this question in her latest video. Yes, I left a comment on her video, but like, we're on the same wavelength here because this is exactly what I was just thinking about doing. And she said something back, but I don't remember what it was. Out of all the social media out there, TikTok is the one that thrills me the least. Exactly, Kristen. But you know what? It's the one that right now seems to be selling books versus the other social media platforms that are saturated. I keep trying to tell myself that so that I will get on TikTok and do something. I haven't convinced myself yet, though. Okay. I'm on board with a Q&A stream. Maybe you should do one together. Maybe that's what she said. I'm trying to remember. I think she said something about a collab, but I can't remember. I didn't want to say that if I don't remember it. Y'all know my memory is not the best. All right. So that is, take the ticker off there. That is the end of my writer goals. And I did that in less than an hour. Yay. I was thinking it was going to go over an hour, and I was a bit concerned that was going to be too long. So one thing that I am thinking of, and then so that I'm definitely going to do it with this video, this live stream, is that I'm going to, once this is processed, I'm going to take the video and I'm going to cut it down to just the 2023 goals. And I'm going to publish that as its own video. And there's 4 reasons why I am going to try this. One, the YouTube homepage is now set up where videos, uploaded videos and lives are on 2 different tabs, which could divide audiences, those who prefer lives and those who prefer content. And there might be some crossover, but it's still new. We don't know how that may change audience behavior. 2, live streams are not for everyone. So that's kind of into that one. 3, collect data. I want to collect data and see, okay, the live stream versus the video. And I am aware that some of you guys who are watching the live stream might have only just watched the video, had the video come out. So there might be some discrepancies there in me trying to figure out my numbers, because obviously if you're here, you don't have to go watch the 2023 goals video, although it's not going to come out to January. So don't forget that it's going to come out in January, and that you've already seen it. And also it could save time for me because it's already done. It's filmed. I just have to cut it down to those parts. And again, I'm not doing a whole lot of editing with it, and then put that up as a video for itself. So it's 4 reasons that I'm going to try that out. And there's a few more comments. Dead in the water, the other platforms you're right for selling. This was fun. Thank you. I got a few sales to TikTok, but I've not been selected for any stores as seen on TikTok sessions. Yeah, I've heard about that. They're now have a marketplace, but then I've heard it's not like you can't just like go onto it. So I'll hang back for the rewatch. I hate that live video tab thing. Yeah, it definitely separates things out, and I think it is going to change some behaviors. Very annoying. Yeah, I hate that videos are divided from lives. Annoying. Yeah, because you don't do any videos. So your videos tab would probably have like your old videos on there. I don't know if you have those still up, but me too. I'm glad they've taken shorts out of the video tab. I do appreciate that, because my shorts content is growing really, really fast. And I want people to be able to see my long form content as well. But that would include my videos and my lives. So I'll look for videos first. After I'm caught up on someone's videos, then I check for live streams. Hold on, this just did something on me here. Live streams that are discussion types. Gotcha. Looks like I'll hit the replay. I just got in. Hi, Rachel. Well, thank you for coming. And I'm so excited to have Shanon singing along to some. Yes. My last YouTube appearance is going to, this is a perfect segue actually, because that was the last thing I was going to say is, guys, I'm taking a break from socials after this. I am going to Margaret's live stream, which is karaoke. It's going to be fun. It's at 6 p.m. Central Time. So 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. her time, Pacific. So, come and hang out. It's just a lot of fun to hang out, and you don't have to sing. You can just watch, which I just typically watch because I am partially tone deaf, so I don't sing very well. But yes. Oh, wait. You said singing along. Oh, geez. Is that like pushing me that I have to come on? So, yes. So I will be going on vacation, sort of. I mean, I'm still going to be here, but I need this moment to woosah and just to have my mind focused on one thing, and that's my writing. So, yeah, singing. Shannon's on. I'm not. I guess I have to be now. Here's the link for that tonight. It's tons of fun, guys. You don't have to join in. You can just watch everybody. And some people have got some wonderful voices. It's amazing. And I'm touched by music. I just like music. It's a very important part of my life. So to see something like this it lifts my mood. I'm ready. Not on it, just singing along at home, Richard. Sing for us, Shannon. Okay, Ursula, see Richard. All right. Well, with all that said, I am probably not going to talk to many of you guys until next year. Well, I mean, if you're on tonight on Margaret's channel, I will be in the chat. So I'm going to be back. I kept thinking I want to be back like January 17th because the 16th is my birthday. But I was like, oh, wait, we have a self-publishing tips and tricks video coming out on the 15th. So I kind of have to be back on the 15th. So I'm going to be back on the 15th. But yeah, so I will see you guys all there. Hopefully for the self-publishing tips and tricks video. That will be my first one of the next year. While I'm talking to you guys, I am trying to find my outro. I just found it. So yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna take a break, and I'll probably still sneak in videos. I'll watch some, but I'm not gonna feel pressured to like leave comments because that's part of the issue. I drive a lot because my son is, he's autistic. He goes to a lot of therapies. He's also in chorus. So now I have to go get him from chorus and take him to therapy. So I do a lot of driving, and I typically listen to videos then, and then I have to try to remember what did I hear? What did I just watch? What did I want to say? And I can't remember because my memory is not that good. So then I'm rewatching the video and I'm like, what is that doing? So now I can just watch videos or listen to videos, not watch. I don't watch them in the car when I'm driving. I'm very safe, but listen to them and not have to try to remember what it was I wanted to say. So, yay. Bye everyone. Yeah. Hi. And we're getting ready to go. So hit the right buttons. All right. So I have my normal thing that I say. I want to say happy holidays to everybody. And thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and happy writing all.